This is your boy Matt. This is Tac0 admin for the 11th of September 2025. This one primarily goes out to my American friends. I want to discuss the nature of government. So, as history has gone on, as political science has evolved, well, it's not even that complicated. There's three organs of government. There are three parts to government. These are really important. Remember this. If you don't forget it. Right? There's the legislative, there's the executive, and there's the judiciary. Right? So the legislative, that's your parliament, that's your senate. That's where the idea is that that's how laws are created. They go through these group of people that the people elect, and that's how we get legislation. That was a big achievement when we got it. Historically, it started with landowners, then everyone else was able to vote, then black people, then white people, then white women. Actually, no, it was white women, then black people in the United States. Look, main thing is, big achievement, right? That's how we get our say in government, all right? Very important. Now then there's the executive. This, historically, goes back to Britain, for the United States and Australia, but definitely for the United States. Both you and us owe our legal history to around year 1200 when the Magna Carta was written, right? And that was with the first time because the executive is the king. Historically, it was the king, then it was your president. But firstly, it was the king. In Australia, it's different. Our executive, we don't have a chief executive officer of our country. There is no CEO of Australia. We just have government ministers, and then they answer to our parliament. Our system, if I'm honest, I think the United States was the first draft for the Australian Constitution. We looked at what you guys did and we're like, we like this, we don't like this. And we still have similar problems because the executive arm is where I have all my problems if you listen to me, right? The executive arm is like every government agency and everyone who listens to the person who's in charge of the government. In your situation, that's the president, right? But you notice how I shit talk the police a lot? In Australia, the police are all a part of the executive arm of our government. And they give me the shits, all right? The executive arm is where I have all of my problems, okay? Right? And then there's the judiciary, and those are the judges. And they sort of exist as their separate thing. The way that judges exist in our system is different to yours. In our system, they choose who becomes a judge. In your system, they're elected. There are ups and downs to both systems. But the main thing is that there's meant to be a separation of government, and that keeps the system democratic. Because democracy came from us when the Magna Carta was written around 1215 AD, and we were like, hey, king, we don't want you to have all the power. We want to have some say in these things. We want to have some say. And then from that, we gradually developed in the Western world towards democracy, following what happened in Britain in 1215. And that's where Australia and the United States have our common ancestry. We both worship the Magna Carta. There's a monument here in Australia that we do to acknowledge it, which I'm going to show you soon. Right? And that's how democracy functions. Okay? Is this separation of these three arms of government. Now in the United States, you have given, over the years, you have given all of your rights and legal authority to the executive. And now you are more like a kingdom than any of the Western powers. It's getting to the point where Western nations no longer see the United States as a democracy. We're really fucking worried. And there's something that you guys have that we don't. You have the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. Alright? We don't have that in Australia. You do. And there's always this thing with these conservative role players where they'll create these little militias where they'll get together and like act as if the crazy leftists or the Jews or someone's taking over their government, so they need to arm up and get ready for it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually happening right now, except it's not the Jews, it's not the crazy leftists. Those militias with their role plays, they kind of miss the point here. So this is what I'm going to say. I want people who consider themselves Democrats in the United States, and I want people in the United States who just have a decent sense and a feel for what's going on. an actual care for the system of democracy to look at organizing themselves. I want you to join the army and the military. I want you to get training. I want you to get weapons. I want you to be able to do what is needed to maintain this system of 3 organs of government. Because we're going to begin doing surgery soon, potentially. It's looking like that. It's pretty fucking sick. Right? Your nation is sick. And the way that we remove the brain tumor sometimes in a person isn't by massaging around it. It's not by using lovely oils. Sometimes when it's a problem as bad as it does, it means reorganizing the brain, and sometimes that reorganization requires bullets. So this is what I want. I want my friends in the United States to arm themselves. I want them to organize themselves, and I want them to look at what's going on, and I want them to start, and I want my leftist friends who potentially have this very pretentious notion against violence. This is why lefties drive me fucking insane a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're just like it comes from the hippie movement, and it frustrates me, this love and peace thing. It's like, motherfucker, it's not about love and peace, it's about keeping these 3 organs functioning. So let's get ready for this surgery. Let's get our equipment ready, and let's see if there's ways beforehand that we can have a peaceful transfer of power, and we can have a peaceful return to norms. Let's try and find that first. Oh, but let's get ready for that surgery, okay? Because there are some people who need to be laid down on that operating table. Have a lovely day, everyone, and best of luck.